Hey, Ivanhoe, how are you? Just give me a couple of seconds. I am still setting up. And Emperor Maximilian, how are you? For work, are your applications generally more or less complex than NearBeach? They're generally more complex. Oh yeah, and don't forget to drop. I am also going to do a drop. Judgmental Lily. Okay. Let's get started. Welcome. I hope everyone's going well. What would you say NearBeach is in complexity on a scale of 1 to 10? I would say around about a 5. Not overly complex, but there is some complexity in there, which offers some challenges, which is nice, but not as anywhere near the complexity I have with what I do for work and stuff like that. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to continue on playing around with the Django REST framework. Today we want to actually sort of play around with the authentication, see if we can create an API key and then access data and, yeah, read up about it more. So, yeah, let's jump straight into it. So, authentication is a mechanism of associating an incoming request with a set of identity credentials, such as the user's as the user the request came from, or a token that it was signed with. The permission and throttling policies can then be used. Those credentials. Hang on, I've said things wrong. The permission and throttling policies can then use those credentials to determine if the request should be permitted. So yeah. Going into this, this says, don't forget authentication by itself won't allow or disallow incoming requests. It simply identifies the credentials that request was made with. For information on how to set up permission policies for the API, yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, the idea is I want this to determine if the user is logged in. And then we got to check to see if the user can access what data and so forth like that. So yeah, the authentication schemes are always defined as a list of classes. REST frameworks will attempt to authenticate each class in the list, and will set request.user, request.auth using the return value of the auth class to successfully authenticate. Yep, if no class that authenticates, request user will set. Alright, cool. So, setting authentication scheme. The default authentication schemes may be set globally using the default authentication class settings. For example, they've got REST framework authentication, basic authentication, and session authentication. You can set the scheme on a per view or per view basis using the API view class view. So in here they've got authentication, so session authentication, basic authentication, and making sure it is authenticated. Oh, nice. All right. So I don't know if we're doing any of that in this code. Doesn't look like it, no. I'm just going to close all tabs. Yeah, all right. Yep. We did this on Monday, didn't we? Or was it last Friday? Last Friday, so it's been a while. Or if you're using the API view decorator with function-based views. Okay. Whoop. All right. unauthorized and forbidden responses. When an unauthenticated request is denied permission, there are two different error codes that may be appropriate, 401 or 403. Yep, 401 response must always include a www authentication header that instructs the clients how to authenticate. The 403 response does not include the authentication. All right. The kind of response that will be used depends on the authentication scheme. Although multiple authentication schemes may be in use, only one scheme may be used to determine the type of response. Alright, cool. Yep. If you're running Django 5.1 plus and use the login required middleware, please note that all views from the DRF, so the Django REST framework, are opted out of this middleware. This is because authentication in DRF is based authentication and permission classes, which may be determined after the middleware has been applied. All right. That changes a few things. Additionally, when the request is not authenticated, the middleware redirects the user to the login page, which is not suitable for API requests, where it is preferred. All right, we've hit our first ad. Alright, ad time. Hopefully everyone's going well. We have our cube here today. We just got the 3x3. I think the 4x4 is on the shelf behind me. Okay. Oh, no, I'll put that in the right spot. Oh, that one's turned around. There we go. Sometimes that happens. There we go. Easy done. And we've still got 30 seconds left. I mean, damn. How's everyone's week going? Hopefully going well. So, yeah. How many? 20 seconds. Oh, damn. All right, let's see how much of this I can get done. I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. Welcome back, everyone. All right, cool. Alright, already Wednesday, time goes by so fast. Yeah, I want to get so much work done at work. Yeah, it's just hopefully tomorrow. Note that if deployed on the Apache user mob, the authorization header is not passed through to WSGI application by default, so to assume that authentication will be handled by Apache rather than at the application level. If you're deploying on Apache and any non-session-based authentication, you will need to explicitly configure the mog or WYSI to pass the required headers through to the application. All right, cool. That's good to know. And is it normal to be in love with myself? I don't know. How are you, Jav? Jav to Scano. Hopefully you're doing well. This authentication scheme uses the actually basic authentication signed against the user name and password, but basic authentication is generally only appropriate for testing. Good point. If successfully authenticated, basic authentication provides the following credentials. Request.user will be Django user instance and request.auth will be none. Alright, we don't want that. We want, what's token authentication? What are you going to do with Django? So Django is the backend framework that we're using to build NearBeach. So what I kind of want to do is implement an API so people can start extracting data out of it. And then later down the track, we'll implement OAuth and single sign-on and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're just looking at APIs at the moment. And RW Grim, how are you going? I still love that little emoji. Alright, RW Grim, there we go. So if you guys are interested in C, RW Grim is working on Pigeon, the messaging messaging app, which we all used to use back in the day. So yeah, it's still around. So yeah, and 3 is on the horizon, I want to say. So yep. Just dropped in to drop some AI shit. Yep, fair enough, but I should be getting some sleep soon. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't want to know what time it is there. I'm assuming oh, yep, nearly 2 a.m. Nearly 2 a.m. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, damn. That's early. Or late, depending on frame of reference. So, yeah. Alright, token authentication. The token authentication provided by the Django REST framework is fairly simple implementation. For an implementation which allows more than one token per user, has some tighter security implementation details, and supports token expiry, please see the Django REST Nox third-party plugin. We're not going to do anything that complicated. What we want to do is have the token come in and be like, alright, cool, this is meant to be this particular user, check the permissions against this particular user. This authentication scheme uses a simple token-based HTTP authentication scheme. Token authentication is appropriate for client-server setups, such as native desktop and mobile clients. Alright, cool. To use token authentication scheme, you'll need to configure the authentication classes to include token authentication, and additionally include the REST framework auth token in your app settings. Alright, so yeah, that's just putting that in there. To make sure to run that after changing your settings, the REST framework auth token also provides Django database migrations. You'll also need to create tokens for your users. Token generate users. Alright, yep. And that's what we'll need to do. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll have to do a couple of tests. But we can test this out today in our test bed. So for clients to authenticate, the token should be included in the authorization HTTP header. The key should be prefixed with the string literal token with white space separating the two strings. For example, authorization token space and the key. Cool. If you want to use a different keyword in the header, such as bearer, simple subclass, token authentication, and set the keyword class variable. If successful, authenticate. Token authentication provides the following credentials. Request user will be the Django user. Request auth. All right, cool. Sweet. So I'm looking at that one. And then generating tokens. Oh my god. I can't read. All right. I did pass grade 1. Alright, so by using signals, if you want every user to have automatically generated token, you can simply catch the user's post save signal from Django. Alright, cool. At receiver post save sender equals settings dot auth user model. If create auth token. Alright. Note that you'll want to ensure your place in this code snippet is installed in the models module or some other location that will be imported by Django on setup. Okay. Is Django good? I'm gonna say, in personal opinion, yes. I both enjoy Django I also enjoy Laravel, and I also enjoy .NET. So yes, to get something up and running, compared with Fast API, I haven't used Fast API yet. I have heard of it, but APIs with Python based on standard Python hints. Oh. Okay. It might be one thing that I'll try out. So, yeah. I just know that this plugs into Django very well. So, yeah. At the end of the day, I don't want to spend too much time developing stuff. So, yeah. Alright, so generating, token, you need to catch a user's post-save signal. Alright, cool. Note that you'll want to ensure you place this code snippet in install models.py module or some other location that will be imported by Django on startup. Alright, I think token authentication. Oh, I was just telling me how I would do this. Okay, let's roll up. Okay, authentication scheme uses token-based HTML. All right, cool. So yeah, that will come through. I'm a little bit confused. Generating tokens. All right, cool. Yeah, this probably talks about what's used above. By using signals, if you want every user to have an automatically generated token, no, we don't. We want users to actually create a token manually. This is an opt-in feature, not a everyone gets it straight off the bat. There's good reasons why. One of them would be if your token's leaked, you don't want a user who doesn't know about the leak or anything like that continue to sort of leak data out. So yeah. Yeah, we also want to set this up at the more of the administration level. So usually an admin will create a user that has permissions to the right areas, and then they'll be like, all right, cool, give me an API key for this particular user. And then it'll create that for them. All right, cool. So by using signals, that's perfectly fine. We won't be using that. Now, you want to ensure you place the code snippet in installed models.py module or some other location that will be imported by Django on startup. If you already created some users, you can generate tokens for existing users like this. So, for users object, token.object.getCreate. Yep, all right, sweet. I'm just wondering if we'll use multiple. I'll think about it. By exposing API endpoints. When using token authentication, you might want to provide a mechanism for clients to obtain a token given the username and password. REST framework provides built-in view. Now, once again, we don't want to. Actually, no, this is just me thinking out loud. We might want to put it in NearBeach instead of actually taking it to a third application or a third-party application or something like that to handle it. That way we can brand it NearBeach and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, got to think about that, but not a problem. Note that the URL part of the padding can be whatever you want to use. The obtain auth token view will return a JSON response when a valid username password fields are posted to the. Yep, all right, cool. Note by default, it explicitly uses JSON request and responses rather than using the default renderer and parser classes in your setting. By default, there are no permissions or throttling applied to the obtain auth token view. If you wish to apply throttling, you'll need to override the view class, and include the throttling class's attribute. If you need to customize version of the obtain auth token view, you can do so by subclassing obtain auth token view class and then using that in your URL and set. That's what we kind of want. All right. For example, you may want you may return additional user information beyond the token value. So yeah, down here we'll have that. So def post. All right, response token, user ID, email. All right, cool. And then what we can do is we can have a view that will hit that endpoint inside NearBeach. We'll need to make sure that the person who is doing this request is an administrator. And we'll need to pass through a form and all that kind of stuff into this and post and make. Yeah, all right, cool. Now I can see this working for us. So yep, and then in my URLs, yep, all right, cool. Okay, I just want to copy this. I'm gonna call it custom auth token. We're being naughty here. We're just placing things in willy-nilly. Now that's complaining because it's got to have that. And then what we want to do is on the views. Now, yeah, this is in the right spot. So in here, I kind of want this. We then want to import this. Like so, and that should work. If I go play, oof. All right, cool, hang on. And hello, Adam, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. I've done something silly, as I always do. All right, installed apps. There we go. So I need to put installed apps into there. Oh, good, trying to get some work done. Fair enough. Oh, I've just realized sorry, chat on YouTube has broken. Give me a second, I'm just refreshing. I'm sorry if you said anything, chat just broke. How well skilled are you in this? By this I mean Python and JavaScript, not looking at chat. Sorry, I didn't actually... Chat froze up for me then. It was just a blank sort of screen there. How skilled am I at Python? I mean, I'm okay. There's stuff that I just don't know in Python. So for example, I'm at pandas and stuff like that. But if I were to, let's say, write a script using Selenium to extract data, I'm okay with it. Django, I'm pretty good with it. With JavaScript, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not the best dev in the world, but you know, I'm okay. All right. Now, will that work? No. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I know why it's not working. All right, for unapplied migration, so Python 3 manage migrate. Boom. So that should have migrated the authentication. We can have a look in the backend to see if that's there. No, but we do have auth tokens in here, which is good. So what I'm going to do, I'm working on my first official project for myself. It's a Python web app using Django's backend. Oh, nice. How is it going? Hopefully well. How are you enjoying Python? Well, Django, I should say. And I am going to go back to the URLs. We want API token auth. I'm just going to paste that in. All right, sweet. So method get not allowed. That's what I want. So we kind of want to post in there, which will be good because, yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this tab. I am going to think that I have Postman installed. No, I don't have Postman installed. All right, that's a bit of a disappointment. I think we just want to add in a token. Cool. So that should be the token. So if I grab a new shell. Yeah, grab a new shell. Cry because it won't let me grab a new shell. There we go. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Am I pressing the right button? No. No, I'm not. All right. Gonna move that like that. We're going to move that down here. It's going good. Finally got registered users and homepage working. Nice. So, yeah. Now, that's a good start. That is a very good start. I don't know what you're doing. So, yeah, no, that's actually good. All right. So, in here, session authentication, custom authentication. No, we had scrolling up, we had token. So token authentication. So we placed in the token authentication. We did the migration, database migration. We need to create. We just created a token for our user. That's pretty easy. So if we go back to here and let's say we go to snippets. Okay, so like here, snippets. we should curl that particular snippet. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to go curl x get HTTP local host 8000 snippets. Just making sure it's plural. Yep. And then H is authorization token, and we're pasting in that thing and we're hitting enter, and boom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a 3. And we've got count 3, next. Oh, and so it's giving us the data no matter what. All right, so I know I need to do something in here. I know that there was something where I couldn't get to it. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to add on views. Serialization class is that. All right, we're going to add on permissions. So once again, we scroll up because we saw this information up here. We need these 2 lines. So I'm just going to add them in. Now, we don't have them called in here whatsoever at the moment. That's perfectly fine. That's part of up here. I'm just going to copy and paste all of that. Okay, so that should sort of work where we've got forbidden. All right, cool. But if we go in here, all right, sweet. So I'll work with the login stuff. Now, what I want is I want to do the similar thing in here, but I want to do users. Cool. Not so cool. All right, so detailed authentication credentials were not provided. All right, boo. Let's make sure that's correct. So that, yeah, that was with the 2 at the end. Authentication, yep, all right, sweet. So we're going in here, we're gonna scroll down. Oh, all right, yep. Django 5.1, yep, all of that. Basic authentication, we're skipping token authentication. So, yep, we make the token. To use token authentication scheme, you need to configure the authentication classes to include a token. So authentication classes, all right, we need, I do believe, token authentication. So if we go up here, like so. So I'm happy with all of that. So if I do that curl now, boom, it works. But if I do that curl with the 3, invalid token. Sweet. All right. So that's going good. I think we could potentially use this, potentially. I'm not 100% sure yet. What I'm going to do is in here, I'm going to have a class, and it's going to be called random data. And because I've never really done Django with classes, I'm going to look up some basic documentation. So what we're doing is class-based views. So introduction to class-based views. All right, sweet. We don't need a lot of this. So my view, that's the function way of these things. All right, cool. So it's just class dot view, and then what we're gonna do is def get. I don't know if I need to. Oh, it's lowercase. Tell you what. We're just gonna copy that. We're gonna paste it in. This is just for a test. All right. We also need to get the views up here, and that's just, we're going to copy that, paste that in. We're going to go JSON response in here because we're just going to return some JSON. Nothing exciting. Once again, this is just for testing purposes. So I'm going to say random view in here. We've got a get, we've got the logic. We're not going to do any of that. What we're going to do is we're going to go at return JSON equals animal, cat, name, socks. All right, easy done. And then we want to return JSON equals JSON dot loads and return JSON. Sorry, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. We need to import JSON. And we've got another ad break. All right, welcome back. Let's do this. All right. Ta-da. Yeah, for those on YouTube wondering what's happened, we also stream on Twitch. Every half an hour we run a minute 30 ads so that any people watching on Twitch don't get the pre-roll ads, which are annoying for any stream. So those are the ads where you start watching a stream and you get ads instantly. So we do this so people won't get those sort of ads. If you're on YouTube, you don't get any ads. We don't have enough watch time or followers or anything like that to justify any of that on YouTube. So yeah. So that's why we do this. And during that time, we really don't do any work. We talk, we have fun, we solve a Rubik's Cube. So yeah. And I keep remembering it. I keep forgetting when everyone's back. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. So in here, we've just done that. Expected type. Oh yeah. And then we want to return JSON response. JSON.loads, return JSON. If memory serving me correctly how to do all of this, let's put it into the views. Let's go in here, let's go path, random. Yeah, random, that's easy done. And then we need to import this. So we need to go up to 3. We need to go from .views, import. Oh, we're already, should do views dot random view. Base name. I don't think we need the base name. All right. I think that's it. No, something's broken. Your URL pattern random has an invalid view. Pass random as view instead of yep. There we go. Easy mistake. Yeah, everything's running. There we go, boom, we've got some JSON. Now we're logged in at this moment. This particular user is not. So what we want to do is we want to use the Mac shortcut keys to copy random and then try and paste it. So at the moment, this guy's logging in. We kind of don't want that. So what we want to do is we want to go back to the views and we want to go at require login. And we want to use this particular decorator. For those that don't know what a decorator is, it's run to encompass a whole entire method. So it hits that before running the method. It's used for checks, for example, making sure that someone's logged in and stuff like that. It's login required, not require login. And once again, we're just pasting this in. We're being very naughty. So login required. We don't need any redirects or anything like that. So that, in theory, should work. So if we hit refresh here, random view has no attribute user. All right, let's go back to our Django classes. So we've got a basic view there. Yep. All right. Self.request. Yep. Let's have a look at the... All right. Okay, note that you don't have the specific URL login parameter. You'll need to ensure that settings.login URL and the login URL are properly associated, for example. All right. All right. Hang on. Django mixin, login required mixin. Oh, when using class-based views, you can achieve the same behavior as login required with the login required mixin. This mixin should be at the leftmost position in the inheritance list. All right, cool. We're going to do that right now. I mean, I can shorten this and just make this a simple def, but no, that's perfectly fine. So from Django.shortcuts. Oh, is it shortcuts? Contrib auth. Mixins. All right. And they're saying login required mixin. Okay, so you go into here. I am just going to copy this. I am just going to paste it in here. Everyone's going to be happy, except me, because I pasted it probably in the wrong spot. I'm going to go back down here. I'm just going to paste it down here, and everyone's going to be happy. So in the class, what we need to do is we need to have login required mixin and then view. And we get rid of that. And we have the login URL equals login, and the redirect field name equals redirect to. I mean, that's just going to go to redirect. I'm just going to put random. I'm gonna delete some of these comments and stuff like that and make that all. And then I'm just gonna delete those 3 lines and then delete those. All right, cool. So if I hit refresh, we get data. If I go over here, we go to login. It should be API auth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that into there. We're going to hit save. We're going to wait a few seconds just for that to boot up. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in random. Oh, hang on. I will eventually get this done. It's because all of that is... I'm just going to put admin. Thank you very much, Scott, now for the follow. I'm terribly sorry, but my iPad did not show that. It's really weird. I am just going to shut that down. And I am going to go back on that, and there we go. All right, sorry. Anyway, thank you very much for the follow. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I am going to hit refresh on that and go random. Yep, perfect. And then it'll take us to the right spot. So it doesn't work. So if I go into here and I use the correct details, we get some data. If I use the incorrect details, we get invalid token. Awesome, which is what we want for NearBeach. So it means we could potentially use this Django REST framework for handling the APIs and all that kind of stuff, which would be great news. I don't know if there's a smaller package for this, but yeah, I'm coding right now as well, so I'm loving this. Ah, that's good to hear. What are you coding? We have someone else who's watching on YouTube who's using Django. Emperor Maximilian is, if memory serving me correctly, creating something awesome. So yeah. We are testing out all of this to see if we could potentially use this in our NearBeach application, which is an open source project management system. So someone's asked us to open up an API. So yeah, we are going to do that. And now I am playing with the cube. Alright, I'm getting distracted with the cube. So this is working. Hang on. I spoke too soon. I've done the users. Sorry, I was meant to do random. Now it is doing a get and we get nothing from random. It is a get. I'm coding a relational database system with Python, like I'm trying to have my own personal software for it, that it's not Oracle. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, good luck. That sounds like a lot of work. So yeah, a lot of fun too, and a lot of learning. Okay, so if I use get random, I got a 302. That's not good. So for those that don't know what a 302 is, it is found, but we're not returning any data. Okay. And that's the same as this one. And what I'm going to do, hang on, I'm getting random messages. All right, so I'm going to write another one. I'm going to go def cat request. What we want to do is we want to do the same thing. So we've got return JSON. Actually, we can do this in one line. Not one line, a couple of lines. So we can go JSON.dumps. We dump in the JSON where we've got animal, and we have cat, and then we have name. Socks the destroyer. And then we return JSON response, JSON.loads, and then return JSON. All right, cool. So what I want to do, I want to go to the URLs. I want to quickly add that in. Once again, this is just us playing around with it. So path, whoa, capital letters there. We're not shouting this, cat. And then we want views.cat request. All right. So that should work. There we go. We've got Socks the Destroyer. Socks the Destroyer. So now we've got something winning. We want to go back into the views, and what we want to do is at the front we want to go login required, like so. And then if we hit refresh, boom, it doesn't like it. And we should have the redirect URL field as admin. Alright, that doesn't matter. That still works. So if we do this, we're still not getting any data. Because it's going 302, it's got a found. So I'm going to have a check into here. So token authentication, we've got the token authentication, print, all right, cool. If you want different keywords such as bearer, token authentication, all right, cool, yep. Request user will be the Django user instance. Request auth will be the REST framework token instance. All right, cool. Unauthenticated responses that are denied permission will result in a 401 unauthorized response with an appropriate authentication header, for example, token. The curl, yep. If you use token authentication in production, you must ensure that your API is only available over HTTPS. Yes, that's very important because someone could actually sniff the HTTP stuff and be like, ah, well, there's your data. All right, by using signals, generating the token. Yep. We're happy with generating the token. We won't be. Oh yeah, we'll be doing that, but we'll do a custom thing like this with the Django admin. It's also possible to create tokens. Yep. Manage. Yep. All right. Cool. Session authentication, yeah. So now what I want to do is Django REST. All right, cool. Django REST framework authentication token with login required. So I'm gonna see if it's possible. And hey, Evan MMO, how you going? I'll take bro, do better. How you been? Let's go now. The end project for this is not just the relational database. I'm trying to create a naturalistic language learning app. Oh, nice. Oh, sorry, wrong chat. How have you been, at least? So we're looking in here. We're like, all right, cool. Is there a way we can bypass this? Because up here, oh yeah, what if I just you know, yank those two, paste them into here, comment out this, comment out this, comment out this, and actually rewrite it as class random view. All right. Now it's going to go away and build the next best thing. The thing that surpasses LLMs and all that kind of stuff. Just because of a comment. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work. We're just playing around with it at the moment. We want to go back to cat. No, sorry, random. Cool, we got back to socks. Let's go random. That will... Oh, all right. But we're not authenticated with this particular one. But that's... Let's test it with this. All right, we've got socks coming through, both unauthenticated and authenticated. So what I want to do is I want to go back here. And I want to figure out why. Now, I don't think the login required mix-in is going to use any of those authentications. So, what I want to do is scroll up here. So, token authentication. Actually, no, we're going to scroll all the way up to the top. And we're going to start reading again. So we should have that in our REST framework for our settings. No, we don't. All right, default authentication class. Okay, I am gonna rerun that because it crashes. So we've got authentication in here, like this and this. We've got API view. That's, yeah, all right, cool. Shoot. All right. I'm going to copy that. We're going to go back to our views. We're going to edit this particular one. We're just going to go like this. We're going to paste it all in. We're going to remove that, and then we're going to import those particular classes. And then we want to go back to cat. So that will work. That gives us a forbidden. Okay, but it gives us a page like this, which in reality we don't want to have. Essentially, we want to use the NearBeach's 403, or redirect them totally out of here. But once again, this is an API. I reckon we could go with the forbidden. Yeah. All right, let's figure it out. Going down here, if we curl with the cat, all right, that was weird. Clear. Details, authentication. All right, cool. Now that's the right one. Okay. No. Oh, because we've got to add in the token stuff in here. So token authentication needs to be added in also. There we go. Invalid token. All right, cool. So it does work with the methods. Even though this is just a simple view and stuff like that. And this takes over, which is fine. I mean, the longer I'm thinking of this, the longer I'm thinking of absolutely changing how NearBeach current API works, which is fine. We can implement this and then update that all. So I've got some stuff rattling off in the head and stuff like that. So if I were to implement this into NearBeach, I want these 403s to actually be a 403 forbidden sort of HTTP sort of thing. However, that being said, if someone were to call it through like let's say curl and stuff like that, having this JSON response back, perfect. The other thing is I don't want someone to come in here and let's say they're using this and it falls on, let's say this. I don't want this to sort of appear for the users and so forth like that if they would access these endpoints directly. An easy way to do that is to make a post. That way they can try and post to it, but they won't be able to get it like this, and they won't have any access to this. So yeah, I mean, so far it looks like I will probably be using this. However, as someone has pointed out earlier tonight, there is Fast API. I'll see how well connected that is with Django before I give the final go ahead, and then yeah, then I need to talk to someone about this. So yeah, all right, cool. Let's jump into Fast API. Let's see what it's all about, and let's open up a new tab. Oh, I'm using the Mac commands. Fast API Django. Is it possible to use Fast API with Django? All right, let's just skip to the answer. Sure, yes, it's possible with. For example, you could use all the Django features. Yes, admin 2 with mounting with this example code. All right. All right, cool. Is Fast API? Mainly for Flask. Oh, no, that's, no, it's its own thing. All right, let's go learn. Let's go Python types intro. I'm just gonna close that. I'm just gonna move that over there. We're just gonna read them very, very quickly. So 3.8, def get full name. All right. I don't know how this will connect with my objects. It's modern, fast, high-performance web framework for building. It's a web framework. All right, so no, it isn't going to connect to Django whatsoever. And we've got an ad break in progress. All right, cool, not a problem. So we got this, we got that. We're getting the blue side. There we go. Ta-da. Oh, and Sab, thank you very much for the 100 bits. I don't know if you're in an ad at the moment, so I'll re-congratulate you when the ad's finished. But yeah, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. Any and all money that we actually get from these particular streams actually goes towards NearBeach, which is a not-for-profit. Currently, at the moment, we are saving up for buying a, for hopefully getting a UI UX developer. So yeah, thank you. And thank you once again for another 100. So yeah, greatly appreciate. And I realize balls are bouncing around everywhere. So yeah. And I'm realizing chat's not coming through. And Void Chaos Father, hello. I don't know if you guys are in ads at the moment. So yes. Hopefully you guys are finished. And thank you once again for another 100. Greatly appreciated. All right, and welcome back. I don't know if you're in ads, Sab, but thank you very much. Greatly appreciated it. Yeah, so any money that we get from this particular stream, so whether it's advertisement bits and so forth like that, goes back into NearBeach, and we're hoping to get a UI UX dev to help us with some of the UI UX. So yeah, greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, and welcome, Void Chaos Father. How are you going? So wait, did Griffin raid you? He raided me the other day. I will have to double check, because my events aren't going on at the moment properly. He did the other day. Because I see and sub. Oh, okay. Yeah. Griffin is a sub on here, so yeah. Did he give you a sub? He possibly did the other day. So yeah, back in the 400th stream, he popped in and gave someone a sub. So yeah. How often do you land but not land? And Ivanhoe with the 46.48. Sorry, 46.87. I can't read. We all know this. So having a quick read with this. So Fast API is a modern, fast, high-performing web framework. So this is why I probably won't use this, because in itself Django is a web framework and this is a web framework, and I don't want them clashing. So I'll go no today. However, this will be pretty cool to sort of play around with one day if I wanted a quick site to set up. It's like something if I needed to connect to a database or something very quickly and spit out just information from that database. So yeah. Anyway, going in with this, I'm going to say the Django REST framework will probably end up using in NearBeach. Once again, it'll be one of those things that will be enabled. So you will have to opt in to it. It will be installed by default, so it sits there ready to go. But yeah, you'll have to turn it on and stuff like that. Do a side project that will never end because it will never finish. So yeah. And give treats to Socks. I am terribly sorry. Socks isn't here at the moment. Long story short, they're at someone else's house. My mum's going to catch a feral cat, and the feral cat hopefully will pass all the vet checks and stuff like that and end up here. Now, that was actually meant to happen at the start of the week. And essentially the cat escaped. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I will refund you those right now for you. I think there should be a way to refund them. Hang on. I never get to refund anything, so this is like the first time. I thought there was a refund option, not report reward redemption. That's just silly. No. Manage goals, sub only, no, suggestion box. Clip that, manage alert. Queue, add. Make me curl. Alright. There we go. That should have refunded the treats. So, yeah. Redeem for the... don't worry. They're back. You'll get the points back. Slumber Party. So yeah, be getting hopefully the cat's really nice. But I don't want to introduce the cat to Socks and Max until we're kind of ready and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the long story short. It is a more complicated story that involves multiple phone calls and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully this week. But yeah, I've been getting ready for accepting the cat and stuff like that. So yeah. All right. So where was I? I don't know. Oh yes. So I think the Django REST framework will potentially use, because we can set it up so this still works. I will need to make sure it still can go through our own decorators and stuff like that. And that's our next sort of step that we do. So why don't we do that right now? And because I don't want to spend forever making a decorator, I'm just going to build a decorator. I'm going to copy a decorator, sorry, that I've already built. So we should be check destination. Check destination will be a really quick one. All right. So I'm just going to right-hand click new. I'm just going to call it decorator.py. We're not setting this up correctly. Don't worry. It's not too much of a problem. So we need a couple of these. Oops, I got to wiggle this mouse and click on that. And no, I mean click on that. All right, cool. I'm going to go back in here. We're going to paste in these. We're going to go that. All right, cool. Oh, Emperor Maximilian, 38.15. Nice. As long as we're beating Nightbot, that's all I care. So we've got this check destination. We've got the... We're not feeding through destination at all. So I'll do something like that. We'll do something like that. We'll do something like that. This is all fine and dandy. But what I want to do... So this will pass no matter what. Is I want to print a couple of new lines. Pane was here. Oh, and a couple of other new lines. Sweet. All right. And then all we need to do is if we go into the views, we scroll up, we just go from decorator, import the check destination. We're not modifying that name at all. After all of this, we then need to check the destination. Okay. And if we have no module name decorator, all right, that's a simple fix. Ooh. And thank you very much, Sab, once again for the 100 biddies. Greatly appreciated. And if you drop now, I do believe the balls actually cause problems. Oh, they don't bounce around for long. Oh. So yeah, thank you very much. Alright, everything's running. So if we go to localhost and go, I think cat was the one we were on. Yeah, yeah, on cat. We've got the check destination. There's that. If we go over here, we'll see that pane is here. And then if we reopen this as admin, which doesn't have any permissions, you'll notice that pane is not here. It's because it failed the decorator before it reached the next decorator, and it just didn't work. Now, one thing I just realized is I closed that terminal, so I don't actually have the token anymore. So I'm just clicking in here. I'm clicking on this token. I'm just gonna copy this token, and I'm just gonna go into here. We're gonna go curl x get http localhost 8000 cats, then capital H authentication token, and we're going to paste it in like that. You're seeing this error because you have code debug equals true on the Django code face. All right, cool. So I've done something wrong. It's not cats, is it? It's just cat. So authentication credentials not provided. Damn it. All right, not a problem. So what I'm going to do, I am going just to copy and paste the stuff I had before. So if we go into, where's that Django authentication stuff? We just scroll up to the top, we scroll down, and we're like, all right, cool. Where's our token stuff? I'm pretty sure I got this section wrong. So I'm just going to copy this. So it's capital X and then get in capitals. All right. So clear, curl, capital X, get, http local host 8000 cat, and then we're pasting this in, and then I am going to copy this. There you go. All right, cool. That's what we wanted. So it still does that. Now, if I go back in here, we still do the decorator, which is awesome. So it kind of means I can now play around with this. So if I go into the decorator, and if I turn this into an F thing and just do this, an F string, I can go request.user, I think. I don't remember if it's .user or username. I don't have the strongest memory. So if I do that, we get Cat the Destroyer. We've got admin. Sweet. All right, cool. So it can reach that admin stuff, meaning this will work perfectly fine with the stuff I've already got set up, which is awesome. So currently I've got a bunch of decorators set up to double check the user's permission against the groups and their permission sets. So think of it as a large Venn diagram where we've got the user groups and the user permissions. They overlap with the object itself, and we're getting that little tiny triangle in the middle, and we're going, is that number bigger than the input number? All right. Yes, yeah, it is. So, yeah, it's a Heartbound soundtrack. Yeah. So, he has stated that anyone who sort of streams or has YouTube content and stuff like that can use it royalty-free. I was having issues with other royalty-free sort of songs and so forth like that, where sometimes it just didn't work. And if you have a look in my old catalog and stuff like that, every now and then it'll literally, the sound just cuts out because of it. So yeah, but yeah, oh, fair enough. Yeah, I really enjoy it too. I do need to get more music just because listening to this for 4 hours 3 times a week, you know. Yeah, but otherwise, no, I actually really enjoy the soundtrack. So, yeah. And if you guys do enjoy it, there's the link to purchase it. So, yeah. A bit with your voice, it gives me happiness. Oh, fair enough. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. All right. So, the great news is this decorator should work. What I'm doing now is in my head thinking about what sort of hurdles I need to sort of jump over to implement this inside NearBeach. So, for those unfamiliar with the permission sets of NearBeach, they can be confusing at the start, but it makes sense once you're like, oh, cool, it clicks. So you've got user groups, which are essentially the groups you assign to users. You've got the permission set, which is essentially a set of permissions and their values. And then you've got the object. And what happens is you've got a lovely little Venn diagram where all three sort of overlap and it produces a number. And that number is between 0 and 4. So 0, no permissions. 1, read only. 2, you can edit. 3, you can create. 4, you can delete. And they're stackable. So if you got a 4, you can do all the other ones. If you got a 3, you can't do delete, but you can do all the other ones and so forth like that. So this might pop out a 3, which means that, hey, this user, for this particular object that you fed into it, let's say it's a project, can create projects. So yeah, it's a custom thing which I built. And to sort of enforce those permissions, I created decorators. So wherever I call an appropriate function, I will put a decorator in front of it being like, hey, just check the permissions for this when you're editing it. And by the way, this is the minimum value of permissions. And so forth like that. So yeah. Ooh. And thank you very much again for the bits, Sab. So yeah, greatly appreciated. So yeah. So the good news is I can call the decorators easily. Now the bad news is getting this to sort of work up here. And the good news is I've got everything set out like this. I don't have class-based views in NearBeach. Okay, fair enough. So the good news is I don't use class-based views in NearBeach as much. We do have it in one spot, and that's the search functionality. And luckily for that, we're not actually checking against any permissions or anything like that, just making sure the user's logged in. Which is pretty easy to sort of do. And even then, yeah, all right, cool. So we are just using the normal sort of function thing. So we've got this, we stack up all of these. I think this will work perfectly fine. And yeah, if I go, once again, if I click on this one, go into cat and hit refresh, once again, it's forbidden. We just need to make sure that we hijack this so that it doesn't render the Django REST framework stuff. So that will be another thing. So as externals, can we use NearBeach? Yes, yes you can. And when you mean NearBeach externals, sorry. NearBeach is mostly self-hosted, which is something you can do on your own computer if you know how to use Docker. We've got a Docker Compose file here, so it'll take, depending how familiar you are with Docker, it can take between 5 to 10 minutes to actually set it up. So yeah, it's pretty easy. We spent a year making it really easy to sort of set up NearBeach. So yeah. And then there's no licenses with it whatsoever, so you can have as many or as few users as you want. And the only data limitations there are done by your database, which will be hard to actually sort of achieve. I would be impressed. Let's just say that. It is something that I am going to be testing in the near future. So I have a NAS at home, and the NAS is using Unraid. And what I want to do is put on a VM on it that will have a one of the databases. I might go MariaDB database, or I might go Postgres. And inside it, I can't spell. Inside it, I want to do over 1 million plus objects. I just fill it and fill it and fill it, and then test it and see how it actually handles that that load. So yeah, that will be something we'll be testing in when we actually start work on the 0.31 or 32, sorry, branch. And that will be testing mostly the speed and efficiency. Which is a new thing for me. So, yeah. All right, getting back into this. Oh yeah, I was going to look up something. So the Django REST framework custom HTML views. How to use the Django with views with custom HTML. All right, cool. How to use the Django or REST auth views with custom HTML templates instead of browsable APIs. I'm using Django REST auth, all auth for login, logout. And oh, that's one thing I wanted to also test. If I change this to post, How will cats look? Method not allowed. Yeah, all right, cool. We don't want that. So that's not going to be a problem. And just, sorry, I've got to test this out over here. This will be... Oh, that is a bug. Okay, post will work there. Okay. Going back into here, sorry. I'm using the REST auth, all auth for login, logout, registration on my website. These are very easy to use and work well. However, the browserable APIs are ugly for production. I want to fully customize my login views, but still have underlying REST auth logic in place. I was not able to find helpful topics, tutorials on how to do this. I found that particular site, which is exactly what I want to do, but for the REST auth rather than build in user authentication system that Django offers. How can I do this? All right, this is 5 years ago. Hopefully there's, since you're using Django REST framework, we can safely assume that you have serializers established for your views. If you don't, then you should. Now that is one thing which we don't actually have. And we might implement that. We might sort of set that up. Response serializer, get object. Okay, serializers may be rendered using the render form template tag. All right, cool. We have profile detail equals that. You can probably directly use or override the REST authentication login serializer and have a look how the login view that uses. All right. Now they're using template name, but with an API view. But that's part of the class, not a method. All right. No, we don't have anything here. Decorators. Method names, allowed methods, wrap. No, all right. Let's go up here. We've got API view there. You also have a little API view there, where I don't know where that one is kept. Authenticated, view sets, API view. These are the decorators, permission class, API template. No, all right, cool. You're going to give me a list. Render classes, throttle classes, pretty name. All right. What about E? Render. All right. Nothing in there that I can see. So I'm just going to go back on this particular one and HTML and forms. REST framework is suitable for returning both API-style responses and regular HTML pages. Additionally, serializers can be used as HTML forms and rendered in templates. All right, and I think Ooh, nice. 50.17 sab. Nice. Alright. Oh, I got updates to do. I am going to... Actually, yeah, no, I'm not going to install them whilst on stream because we all know that just drops stream. Alright. We had a problem, I think, last stream or the stream before, so let's not do that. REST framework is suitable for returning both API style responses of regular HTML pages. Additionally, serializers can be used as HTML forms. All right, rendering the sort of stuff. So in here, we've got the template name with this. It's got the template like so. Easy done. So rendering forms. Yeah, all right. Use template packs. Alright, it might be easier to see if the Django REST framework, no HTML. Alright, so what I want to do, default Django REST framework, HTML post forms not showing up, that upgrading the last version. This is not what we want. Oh, and we've just hit ads. All right, here we go. Welcome back again. For those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour, so there's no pre-rolled ads. You're on YouTube, you shouldn't be getting any ads. We don't have enough people following or enough watch hours for those. So yeah, you get to see me do this. There's also other people on Twitch who don't get ads through various means. So for example, Turbo, which I know a few of you actually have Turbo. I still get paid for it. So yeah, that's great. And through being subbed. So yeah. I do this so no one misses out on anything, and you get to see me actually do a Rubik's Cube, which is my little fiddle machine. So yeah. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. There's our cube solved. I've got to read a book, get more efficient at it. So one area I can get better at is the single side with the two lines, getting that set up sooner rather than later. With that one, I'm very slow with getting the single side two lines up and running. All right. Cool. See, I'm still doing it the old way here. Just need to learn it. That's all. All right, how are we with ads? And we're back. All right. The speed of fingers on that cube is mental. The only time I had one in my hands, I felt like a cat with shoes. Fair enough. This is gonna sound weird, but they're not that hard to solve. So there's patterns to it. So when you see certain pieces in a certain way, you know how to get them in the correct spot. And the hardest part of solving a Rubik's Cube is just getting one side. Once you got one side, getting one side, one line, it's the same thing over and over again. The same patterns over and over again. There are more efficient patterns that do specific things. So yeah, it's just learning those, and that's how you get faster. Yeah, I find it fun because it's a fidget tool. If it's not that hard to solve, I just no, you just need to sit down and just practice. There are YouTube tutorials. I used to be part of the Speedcubing Australia, and at a couple of events, especially the Arnold Classic we went to, and that's the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. We went there and I sat down and helped a bunch of people and taught them. And usually it took between 10 to 20 minutes to show them how it's done. And yeah, they were able to solve it. So yeah. It's a lot of fun. Got to meet the big man himself. All right, we want default channel REST post. I started using the Django REST framework, but I'm not able to see a raw data /HTML form option in my Django and REST framework versions are the latest. The whole API works fine when I insert data and it's JSON inside the text there. All right, cool. Use decorators API view will not generate those UI options. Okay, but I don't want I don't want this. Yeah, because the reason why I don't want this is someone could actually go in and be like, oh cool, they're using this and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's what do we use at the moment? So at the moment, it's just a white screen, and we send back a 405. And if we're doing this, yeah, 405, method not allowed. We don't want this showing. I mean, this could be a lot better. I could do a proper error screen and so forth like that. So, yeah. All right, give me a couple of seconds. Django REST framework custom 405 view, or error, I should say. Django REST framework 405 method not allowed using simple router. I'm using simple router tutorial within the documents just created. All of that. Yep. All right. Cool. Put a submit alert. Simple router, all right, this is not what I want. All right, method not allowed raises an incoming request occurs that does not map to the handle method. By default, this exception results in a response with a HTTP alert, not allowed. Yep. Cool. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. I have to talk to you about API stuff. Yeah, so I've been playing around with it today. So I placed in a custom decorator to make sure I can still use my own decorators and make sure I can still get to making sure it still works and all that kind of stuff. Making sure that we can still use session authentication, basic authentication, token authentication, make sure it is authenticated and stuff like that. So yeah, I've just got to ask you a bunch of questions about how I should do this moving forward. Like there'll be a quick way and a proper way, most likely. So yeah, I'll probably just message you. I think that will be easier. So yeah. At the moment, I'm just thinking of all the little hurdles that I can come across. And one of the little hurdles is I've created this API, method not allowed. I kind of don't want this Django REST framework screen to actually show. Always is with the questions, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to think up of the questions so they make sense. And at the moment, they're in a scramble in my head. So yeah, I'll have to flesh the questions out. But yeah, one of the little hurdles is figuring out how to actually make this into a custom sort of error page. So yeah, exception handling REST, Django 404, permission denied. All right, in case the REST framework will return a response with an appropriate status code and content type, the body of the response will include any additional details regarding the nature of the error. Most error responses will include a key detail in the body response, for example, the following request. Cool. Custom error handling. You can implement custom error handling by creating a handler function that converts exceptions raised in your API views into response objects. This allows you to control the style of error response used by your API. The function must take pair arguments. The first is the exception to be handled, and the second is the dictionary containing any extra content, such as the view currently being handled. The exception handler function should never return a response object or return none if the exception cannot be handled. The handler returns none, then the exception will be re-raised and the Django will return a standard 500 server error response. Okay, for example, you might want to ensure that all responses included in the HTTP status code in the body respond like so. So, HTTP 111.405 method not allowed. Content length, detail method delete not allowed. Cool. Yep. In order to alter the response style, you could write the following exception handler. So from the exception handler, custom exception handler, X content response, exception if response is none, status code equals. All right. Call the REST default handler first to get the handler response code. Now add the HTTP status code to the response. Okay, and then we send it to the yep. And I am assuming generic error views. All right, Django REST framework provides 2 error views suitable for providing generic JSON 500 server errors and 400 bad request responses. Django's default error views provided HTML responses which not be appropriate for an API-only application. All right, cool. So, REST framework exceptions, server error returns a response with status code 500, application JSON content type set as handle 500, handle 500 server errors. Yep. All right. Okay, so we've got to handle it like this. Which we do already for the 403 and 500. And I think the 404. Sorry, yeah, the 404, 500. I don't think the 403. But, yeah. Hang on, I'll go back here. So it does it for 500 and 400. Needs to be on a t-shirt. All right, so that's the only concern I have at the moment. Is I don't like these templates, and if I had the option I would get rid of them. So Django REST framework custom views. So I'm just going to have a look at the views themselves. All right. REST framework provides an API view class, which subclass of Django view. API view classes are different from regular view classes in the following ways. Requests passed to handle methods will be REST frameworks request instances, not Django's HTTP instances. All right, cool. Any API exceptions will be caught and mediated into the appropriate response. Incoming requests will be authenticated and appropriately permissioned, and all throttle checks will be run before dispatching the request to the handler method. Using the API view class is pretty much the same as using the regular view class. As usual, the incoming requests to dispatch an appropriate handler such as get, post, additional number. All right, cool. Yep. Function-based views. REST framework also allows you to work with regular function-based views. It provides a set of simple decorators that wrap around your function-based view to ensure they receive an instance of request rather than the Django HTTP request. All right, cool. API view, yep, sweet. And then it responds like that. If request post, yep. Otherwise, hello world. Do we get a custom template? No. I'm going to look up custom template. I want to customize the Django REST framework browsable API simply to change the branding to a different name and link. I have read the documentation on how to achieve this and did the following initially in the following path. Hints, project, hints, app, template. All right, cool. So in here, they've got backend, directories, app directories. All right, cool. I'll just go to the answer. Oh, sorry. All right. With the answer, there are a couple of things that could likely be the reason you're experiencing this problem. Firstly, you seem to have your API HTML file created in your app folder while you reference your template folder at the level of your project directory, meaning your app project directory. All right, cool. So update, and if I may add, following a tutorial on how to customize this will work as long as everything is placed within the appropriate path, such that the framework can find here in a screenshot of the customization I made. So yeah, I kind of want a customization. So they've got this, which extends handling devs, API, block banding, span, and block. All right, cool. Settings as follows. So the backend Django templates, backend Django templates. Yep, directories. We've got the basic sort of directories with the templates. App directories, true options, context, debug, request. All right, for the tutorials I watched and the docs I read, this should have been enough to implement the change. However, it did not work, and then I decided to build. All right, cool. Is this for the Django REST? Yep. Give me a tutorial. Browserable API formats, yeah. Authentication. Is there any way just to say it needs to be in JSON? So by default, the API will return specific the format specified in the headers, which is in the case of the browser. Yep. All right. Cool. authentication, customization. The browsable API is built on the Twitter Bootstrap, making it easy to customize and field. To customize the default style, create a template called REST Framework.api. Ooh. And thank you, David Jimenez. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So yeah, the REST framework. So we just need to create a template called. So I'm just going to minimize everything. I'm just going to open it up. I'm going to open up Tut snippets, and then we should have templates. Like that. And then we do that. And then we go, Bob was here. All right. Oh, nice. 47.02. Meant to target. Take that, Nightbot. And if I hit refresh, yeah. All right. I don't have it in the correct spot, so I'm just going to put it here. Yeah, it didn't do anything. Okay. HTML and forms. The REST framework is suitable for returning both API styles and regular HTML pages. Additionally, serializers can be used as HTML forms. And all right, cool. In order to return HTML responses, you'll need either template HTML renderer or static HTML renderer. The template HTML renderer class expects the response to contain a directory. All right, cool. With views, that's a class view. Rendering forms. Once again, this is all class views. All right. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Because it'd be nice to, yeah, not have that page show. Okay. Okay, the browsable API extends all that. All right, override the default theme. To replace the default theme, add Bootstrap theme to your API HTML. Link to the block Bootstrap theme. Yep, okay, and block, yeah. All right. Yeah. Because if I can hijack this, I'll just have the NearBeach sort of basic sort of thing and be like a little note being like, sorry, you're going to have to use post for this or anything like that. Being like, yeah, you can't get the API data like this. We've purposely made it all of the API calls post. And that's something we can revisit. Okay. But I think that's the only hurdle we have. Yeah, all right. I am happy with this. Let's look at the roadmap. So yeah, I think we can potentially use the Django REST framework for this, the API for external applications. I think it passes everything. It's just that one little tiny hurdle, which I think just doing a little bit of Googling more and actually playing around with it and finding a tutorial, we can jump over that hurdle and stuff like that. Yeah. As for OAuth, we're going to put that on the back burner at the moment. Mainly because I didn't realize how much I need to learn for OAuth. That is going to take a lot of effort from me. Just effort I don't have at the moment. Yeah, but otherwise we can get the API in there. I do want to get OAuth in there mainly because I do want to open up NearBeach for the ability for plugins, third-party extensions, and all that kind of stuff in the near future. So yeah, it'd be great if an external application could connect into it. Basic auth will do for most user cases, yeah. And I reckon with the Django REST framework, with that API handling and stuff like that, I reckon definitely that will work with most sort of cases. As for two-factor, yes, that's the next thing we kind of want to implement. And the GDPR deletion wizard. So that's also another thing we've got to sort of implement to... that will be a big one. And it's not deletion, more on the lines of we're overriding data. Because the one problem with deleting in NearBeach is that everything cascades. So if you delete a user, it actually deletes anything that they're connected to, which is not what we want. There. Oh, Max is a little thinking. A little thing. All right, where did that one go? And that video's super hello behind. All right. I don't know where he landed. All right. So yeah, I've got to start planning that. Okay. So GDPR. All right, this is going to be a fun little sort of wizard we're going to create. The idea of this wizard is to essentially override existing data with nonsense. All right. Once again, deleting willy-nilly in NearBeach is not ideal because you can delete, for example, a project or something that that particular user is connected to, because we've got on-delete cascade. And when we review the database, we might come back and be like, is that a good sort of solution? Another thing we should potentially do with this GDPR is we should have it so the first administration user that comes through will be the one that gets assigned these projects and tasks and stuff like that. So yeah, Some things we'll be able to delete. So for example, customers, we'll be able to delete customers. That will have a, even then we don't want to, I have to think about that one because they are connected to projects and tasks and stuff like that. If we delete them, that might, it'll delete them totally from the system. And that will be fine. Organization's going to be a bit of an annoying one because once again, everything's connected to the organization and so forth like that. Deleting that will delete a project and stuff like that. What is the kangaroo? You write with a pencil without seeing it. I'm so jealous. All right, cool. I will actually show you. So, about a year ago, Amazon had their sale. I bought one of these. So, yeah. Just a simple little tablet. We've also got my colorful keyboard, my Switch, and yeah, the Rubik's Cube, which I constantly play with, and my phone. And that should be charged by now. I should actually plug in my laptop. So yeah, and my washing, which for those with an astute eye have realized it's been there for almost 3 weeks. Because I, for some reason, don't like folding. Happy with washing. Happy with, like, I will fold, not fold my socks, but I'll pair my socks before adding them into the washing machine, and pair them when I put them up on the clothes horse. So yeah, perhaps something like GPT type yeah. I do like that. And then the users can we can then apply a soft delete. There you go. Add break in progress. And then I think a user can add in a soft delete. So yeah. Okay, I am doing that and doing that. And doing that very quickly. Yeah, once again, for those on YouTube, we have ads on Twitch, but you guys don't get ads. Yeah, cool. You get to see me do a Rubik's Cube. We will get back into it in about a minute 30. Nearly dropped the Rubik's Cube. Not as violent as I did the other day. That thing just went flying. I don't know why that happened or how that happened. I should get some physicists involved, you know, and be like, why did the cube just end up flying across the room? I swear to you, I didn't put that much energy in there. Alright, we're doing that, and then we do that, and then we just bump those up like that, and presto! Alright, cool. I wouldn't have noticed my laundry if you hadn't mentioned it. Alright, I walked into that one. I think you're in the ad break at the moment. And I swear to you, every single time there's an ad break, YouTube just plummets to 0, and then it pops up again, so yeah. Anyway, we should be back. No, 4 seconds. Anyway, welcome back. Wouldn't have noticed the laundry if you hadn't mentioned. Yeah, I don't know. I got 2 baskets of washing to put away. Well, I've got that and 1 basket, so... But that's just a sheet, 2 sheets, and a couple of towels. It's not much. It's not much. So yeah. All right. So getting back into here, we hit the ad break. For example, we can replace stuff with GD. PR. Now, what would be the type? Because as an Australian, this whole concept is new. And then what I would do is, instead of an incremental number, I would do a UUID. Just to obfuscate it a little bit, so people can't be like, oh, this one came before this one, and stuff like that. It'll just be random data put in. Something we would have to make sure doesn't... Just sheets, never washes clothes and underwear and stuff. Well, I usually don't have the underwear behind me. I do have a cupboard over there. Sometimes I'll put some washing on over there. I don't at the moment. In fact, that was over there a long time ago, and then I needed something from my cupboard, and then it got put there, and I just haven't moved it. So, yeah. I'm notorious for putting away washing. I've lived off the clothes horse for many of years. And once again, I don't mind pairing socks. Like, I'll pair them as I put them on the horse rack. Just won't put them away. I don't know what it is. I just find it tedious. All right. So yeah, that would work better than actually deleting the data. We can sort of scrub it from the system. Now, we still do have the IDs and stuff like that, but that should be perfectly fine. Don't use socks. Fair enough. Fair enough. Very easily done in summer. Because you can walk around in jandals or thongs or whatever language. Because Australia, we call them thongs, but I understand other people call them jandals. Actually, this could be a very, very unsafe stream sort of thing. Let me make sure I get up the right image. All right. These. We walk around a lot in these, but we call them thongs. So, yeah. Oh, I'm on workstation thing. Alright, so how did we want to tackle this? We essentially wanted a wizard. And what the wizard will do... Chandler. Okay. Hope not thongs. Fair enough. Alright, so I kind of want a wizard. And what will happen is you go into the wizard, you will... there's one of two ways you can do it. I forget Aussies call them thongs. Yeah. And we call what you guys call thongs G-strings. Which is even funnier because there are a lot of songs, especially old classical songs with something 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 in G-string, and we're like, heh. Alright, so this my thing is we'll have an open search field because we're most likely searching for a name or something like that in here, but that name could be inputted into particular places. I don't like the search bar option because there can easily be a case where people have the same name and stuff like that, and you'll have two different users. And the idea here is not to... no, there's actually two ideas. And one idea is to remove a customer from the system. Alright, hang on. I am needing to sort of what we need to do. Okay, 1, remove customer. All right, 2, remove organization. And 3, remove user. Just an icon and play with colors, maybe. Sorry, I don't know the context with that one. All right, so what we need to do, we need to remove one of those. So if we were to come in, we would specifically know what we were going to do. So if we're going to remove an organization, we search for the organization and we click on it. From there, we can get the organization name and strip it out where plausible. So any sort of project or anything like that, we'll strip it out. And hello, Nedbog, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. And my God, that was fast, and congratulations, 77.24. I just saw that on my video feedback, so wow. My normal video feedback is so far behind, it's not funny anymore. I just had you stand up. Oh, fair enough. I'm literally standing up. Wow, my video feedback is hella in the past. All right, that is a problem. Ooh, Sab in for the steal. Nice. 81.70. Nice, congrats. Okay, so we've got remove customer. So with the remove customer, we should be finding the name out in the in any projects or tasks assigned at their organization, if they're connected to an organization. Or all right, hang on, let's do this. So this is find at org or customer objects. Now, if the customer isn't assigned, hang on, this is NearBeach functionality that I have changed. So this particular customer is not connected to anything. If we actually go into new project and go test project, yeah, we won't be able to do that anymore. Where is your favorite cat? So Socks at the moment is at somewhere else. Long story short, my mother's trying to capture a stray cat that lives around her place, and I'm going to be looking after it. And it will just be a lot easier getting that stray cat to sort of settle in my place if Socks isn't around at the moment. So she's happily on holiday, having fun, getting lots of treats. But yeah, sadly she isn't here at the moment. So, yeah. Alright. I've just spotted another bug. Now, the thing is, with NearBeach, it needs an organization now. So all customers need to be connected to an organization. They can't be, yeah, they can't be. Okay. We found a bug. Trust me to find a bug. Oops. right. Customers can be created without an organization. All right, cool. Method 1, log into NearBeach to navigate to the create customer screen. 3, create a customer without an organization. Expected results, cannot do. Actual results, can do. Should not do anymore, as all objects need to be connected to an organization. So yeah, an organization is sort of, it's got to be connected. Technically, you can put in a customer as an organization. We're not stopping you from doing that. And then you're like, all right, cool. This organization is called Bailey, sorry. And yeah, that should work. Okay, we're gonna create that bug. Easy done. My current issues, we've got 14. Okay, not too bad. Gonna have to crunch some of those. So we find at org all custom objects and remove data. And then with this one is find at org objects, remove data. Have to go to bed, fair enough. Thank you very much, Sad, for being here, and I'm hoping to see you next stream. So yeah, thank you very much. And thank you very much for the bits, greatly appreciated. So, with the wizard, I'm thinking when we go to it, we go, all right, cool. What are we looking at? Are we looking at customer, organization, or user? The person selects, let's say, customer. And then we'll get all the data and we're like, all right, cool. Which customer are we going to remove from the system? And we should also ignore soft deletes. So yes. All right. So I'm having a think about this and how this would work. So an admin will go, all right, we need to actually purge this particular person from the system. We need to actually replace all their data and so forth like that. So they would come in, they would be like, all right, cool, sweet. We're going to, we're looking for a customer. Cool, so they pick customer. The next step would be like searching for that customer. So they search for that customer. And then the next step would be in that is the system searches throughout all the data. The first thing it'll do is it knows that it's a customer. It'll be like, all right, cool. We're going to change the customer details to this. And it'll literally just pop up what it's going to change the customer details to. The email will be done at no reply. Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll do it at no reply. And then whenever we build our email queue, I will make sure I don't email no reply, which won't be hard to do. You just look at the first sort of thing and be like, all right, cool, shouldn't email that. The next thing you'll do is you'll go through all of those connected objects and try and find that particular person's name. And then it'll come up with a thing being like, all right, cool, we're going to replace all of this data with this data. So we're replacing the first name and the last name with that particular data. And where possible, it'll replace both. That and also the email. It'll replace the email. We won't worry about title. What about attachments that person may have uploaded? Perhaps flag those for review. Good point, and that can be done. So that will only be the user doing that. Flag documents user has uploaded. Okay. So yeah, that's not going to be hard at all. That's literally just me pulling a list of all the documents that they've uploaded, because we've got the created user field, I do believe. And hang on a second. Let me double check that. So we're going to delete all of those blank lines. Select everything from NearBeach document, and then select everything from NearBeach document permissions. So if I go run, so with document permissions, set the permissions created and stuff like that, change user ID. We can also do it for documents uploaded against the user. That's going to be easy to do. We've got the change user ID, which is equivalent of the create user, because when a document gets uploaded, no one's going to replace that document. They delete the document and so forth like that. And then what we could do is we can quite literally flag that for proper deletion. Actually, we would go through a proper deletion thing, which we've already built into the system as an automatic sort of process. Yeah. All right, so let's do the steps. So the method. Admin user. Actually, give me a couple of seconds. We'll actually do this in production. Give me a few seconds. Sorry, it's logged me off. I can't share anything on here because I use NearBeach for my own project management. I actually have actual clients on here. So I just don't want to show who they are. But we also use NearBeach for NearBeach's development too. So this would be GDPR. All right, so planned method 1, administrator logs into NearBeach. They navigate the menu, admin, GDPR deletion. They accept a warning message. All right, cool. So when they land on the page, it will be like, all right, cool. Do you accept that this is forever deleting data? And this can't be undone. All right, so they accept a warning message. They might need to type in something. So we'll stop this being automated. So, yep. Might be worth using a separate instance. Perhaps then you could have public read-only version of NearBeach Kanban board. Potentially, but I've got it all set up in one spot now. I'm like, all right, cool. It's just I use just this one Kanban board for all of NearBeach's stuff. So yeah, I do have requirements every now and then that I put into NearBeach. Like I've got to do the API requirements and so forth like that, so that way I can track when I sort of do everything. Yeah. So they accept the warning message for they choose which object they would like to delete from, and that object is going to be organization, customer, or user. They search for that object. And then run the scan. So the scan might take a little while. The scan will do the following for each object. So organizations will look at every object connected to that organization and determine if determine what data needs to be replaced with GDPR. Now, before Nocturnal, you said type before. You had like type and then incrementing sort of number. What types would there be? I'm just going to put in UUID for the moment. Look at every object and determine what This will then ask the user if they want to continue with this. Oh, all right. There we go. Easy done. This will then ask the user if they want to continue with this change. The administrator will be able to choose what changes are implemented. So yeah, they'll just go through it and be like, all right, cool, make that change and make that change. Maybe don't need types. All right, cool. Oh, customers aren't users. So customer will look at every object connected to that customer's organization and determine what data needs to be replaced with GDPR customer UUID. All right, and then that's pretty much the same. And then there's user. We'll look at every object connected, to that user's groups. So because there's similar names and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to actually scan the whole database and be like, all right, cool, this person was under here. Actually, no, I'm going to say yeah. We'll look at that user's connection objects under every single group the user was originally was connected or has been connected to. All right, let's read that out loud. We'll look at the user's objects under every single group the user has been connected to, aka even soft deleted groups.
it will then determine what data needs to be replaced with the GDPR customer, user UID. And then that will be the same. The system will also find every single document they have ever uploaded, excluding purged. Because the purged documentation no longer exists, it's been purged. And ask the administrator to verify its contents. All right, that actually should be a heading 2. I made a little mistake. All right. Save and continue. There we go. I think that is a good sort of method, and we can start that soon too. So, yeah. The idea being, we'll have all of that done. Okay, cool. So with the data that needs to be sort of deleted and stuff like that, what can actually happen is we'll do a replacement. We'll get the person to confirm it. If they're not happy with it, they can leave it unticked and they can go in there and make that change themselves. So they can manually go into that particular object and be like, I'm going to delete this from here and save, because it's going to override the data. Otherwise, the whole system will just go through and just replace everything. Yeah, which is going to be a big task. Now, another problem is people might make changes as they're reviewing this data, and when they hit submit, it most likely will override their change. So we're going to actually do a find and replace on certain key features. So for example, first name, last name, email, and so forth like that. And it's just going to happen for those particular objects that the administrator has actually selected for GDPR. This particular page might not work on mobile phones. So yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, there's just too little space on the mobile phone for this to actually work. Tablets, we can get it to work. I'm thinking on mobile phones we hide the whole screen and we just have a little warning being like, no, do this on a proper computer, there's too much data to look at and it's too confusing. Might have to ask someone's opinion on that. So, yeah. The idea is, if you've got a tiny mouse, let's say you got a tiny mouse thing here and a tiny mouse thing here, and you're comparing the data and it's highlighting the changes and stuff like that. Yeah, you need that to sort of work. And we can do a highlighting change, because what we could do is when we do a find and replace, we find and replace with, let's say this is red, like that. And if we actually go into the source, actually we can't go into the source, but this is just HTML. and so forth like that. What are you comparing again? So let's say we've got a description and it has, let's say, the customer's email in it. What I want is the original description followed by what we want it to update. And then what we can do with the one which we want to update it to, every find and replace in there, we can insert a bit of HTML to actually highlight it, much like this. And be like, all right, this is the change we're making. Just because I feel it would be a lot better if there were eyes on it. To be like, all right, cool. This is all of the data we're going to be changing on the system. We shouldn't be making this willy-nilly. I feel like it makes sense with emails, but names, people can have the same name. I've got a very common name. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to save and close that. I'm happy with that. NearBeach API, we're getting to that. Add in pre-commit. Oh yeah, we've got to do the pre-commits sort of stuff with just the linting. Look at unit tests, command, document cleanup. How? Oh yeah, yep. Oh yeah, we've got to do that too. You're talking about the git add patch style, possibly, for the lint. All right, I'm going to close that. Okay, so I'm happy with the method we've got down here. No for the diff. This would be in NearBeach. This would be part of the GDPR deletion. All right, I think that's what we want to do. I've then, but you could do something like akin to git add patch. I'm a little confused where you're going with that. Sorry. Instead of showing all the text. Oh, okay. So showing the chunks of changes and stuff like that. Oh yeah, please. Yeah, I'm probably on a different page. So yeah, I don't know how I would do that. Yeah, I would not know how to do that in pass get chunk. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, I just don't know.
Because if we go into the button into here, let's actually close this. Let's realize that I didn't need to close it. Let's go select everything from NearBeach project. Hit run. And let's have a look at this. So it's in just a HTML sort of format in here. And just kept as a string. Yeah, alright. Make the change run in a diff lib.
Purpose of for computing deltas. This module provides classes and functions for comparing sequences that can be used. For example, for comparing files, and can produce information about file differences in various formats, including HTML and context, and unified diffs for comparing directories and files. See also the file CMP module. All right, cool.
This is native, right? HTML differ. All right, we've got this over here. Let's run a decorator. Let's go A equals HTML body h1 hello world and h1 end body and then end HTML. And then we've got B equals the pane because it's funny. And then what we want to do is import diff library. Cool. And then C equals diff library dot HTML diff. Table size equals wrap colon. Tab size. Let's go to tab size equals 2. I need examples. That's the problem. All right, import system, S1, F right lines, context, diff, from file, before file, and after. All right. Well, let's just ask ChatGPT. Stay logged out. Okay, I want to use Python and diff lib. I have 2 HTML as strings. How can I compare the difference? All right. In diff, split line, select. All right, cool. I am just going to copy that because that is what we want. I'm just going to paste it in here. Paste. So diff lib and diff h1 h1 split lines. All right, cool. I don't think that's right. All right. Potentially We'll find out in a minute. Oh, wait, we need to actually hit that without API. Generate tour object different compared. All right, cool. And create an object. Sweet. It's got join.diff. All right, hang on. Oh no, that's just going to join it as an object at the end of it. That's not going to do anything. Watch. I don't know. There we go. I'll have to play around with this, but yeah, that definitely could be an option. All right, so we've got that down. The story points also I need to actually start doing, but I want to get the GDPR wizard done first. And then I'll plan out the story points. That will also have a bunch of other stuff. Which will be connected to, hang on, I've got my whiteboard. Nope, nothing over my lighting system. All right, cool. Which will be connected to some of this stuff here. I think you actually want something like make table function from HTML diff, compares front lines and two lines, list of strings, and returns a string, which is complete HTML table showing a line by line difference with interline and interline changing highlighted. Oh, all right. All right, let's go into here. You said make table. Oh, this. I wrote make. And then I wrote make take. It's the end of the night. So yeah, I'm making a lot of mistakes. Make table from lines to lines. All right, cool. From destination to destination. Context false. Ooh, all right. Let's play around with this. So we've got these two in here. I'm just going to cancel that one. I am going to go diff equals difflib dot make. We said HTML diff dot make table, and then over here it's like from lines 0, 2 lines 100, and then we want from source HTML1 to HTML2. To destinations. Oh, the class needs to be in sync. All right, cool. sequence string from lines. I don't know what, from lines, let's say body, 2 lines and body. And then I'm just gonna go b equals, should be a list of strings like the ndif example. Oh, all right. Easy done. Line 21. All right. Oh yeah, you're putting that out as I was doing it. All right, cool. Empty for now. All right, I will just go. Oh no. Okay. That should run. We should just hit that with the API. We do get Socks the Destroyer, and then in here, we get all of this. Not a problem. That's because I've got it like this. So I'm just going to remove that, and we're just going to write in print, and we're just going to type in B. Actually, print F, new line, B, new line. All right, I think that's better. This should reboot any second now. I'm just going to squeeze all the way down to the bottom. We're going to hit the API to get Socks the Destroyer, and there it go. There's our table. T-body. All right, sweet. And yeah, that should be. We've got the color group here. All right, I like that. Alright, I am going to put some notes into the Kanban board. Where's GDB? Over there. Alright, description. We've got our notes. Notes. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this. We are gonna add in code. It's that bug. All right, we're gonna add in code like that. Okay. Sweet. Save and close. Okay, cheers. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. All right. Introduce story points. 2-factor. Oh, yeah, we're going to get a 2-factor up and running in NearBeach one day. We won't start thinking about this at all for the moment. So, yeah. We have added pagination into the search. It is awesome. I'm very happy with it. We still need to do a few other things here and there. However, that being said, I'm very happy with it, and I think we can achieve those other things over time. Implementing new dashboard widgets, so we will be implementing some new widget IDs and stuff like that. We also want the ability for users to customize the dashboard, so have the ability to drag and drop things in, be like, all right, cool, we want this to be on up here and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of a way where we can implement the full ultra wides and stuff like that, because I have an ultra wide. So So yeah. Anyway, I'm probably going to call it there tonight. I actually got a little bit of work to do tonight, so I've got to jump off early and get that started in a minute. But let's find out who we can raid. I should be logged in. I don't recognize any of those. There we go. Alright. I think Evan said something before, right? Sorry, I'm just trying to find something that I thought was said before. Huh. Can't anymore. Let's raid Evan. He'll get back to work. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. It looks like we know what to do with the API. It looks like we're planning the GDPR sort of stuff. We knew this month wasn't going to be a big month of releases, mainly because we knew we've got to plan stuff and stuff like that. We can't just jump into it. So now that this stuff has been planned, I'm hoping next month we're going to do feature after feature after feature. There will also be some other stuff we want to do. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, and I do hope you enjoy Evan's stream. Sorry, my brain is going out the door. I don't know how I'm going to get work done. So yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, for those on YouTube, thank you for coming along. Yeah, I hope to see you next time.